Well, that was a fun start to the video, I think. A little bit of a time lapse. I did that last episode as well, and thought it was quite fun, so we did it again, but this time with a bunch of trees and progress here, which I really like. This build for me is about doing it in stages, slowly making progress to turn it into something that I'm proud of. And it's slowly getting there. As you can see, I've got something here planned, another tree that I haven't been bothered to build yet. Yeah, today's episode is actually not going to be too focused in this area, to be honest. What I wanted to build is I wanted to build a amethyst farm. So I showed it in the last video. Or the video before? I don't even remember. I showed an amethyst farm recently, and I want to actually build it. The main thing that's difficult about this farm is grabbing the allays, which at the time of recording I have already done, which is very nice. So that means the next thing is to hop over to the industrial district, find an amethyst geode, and put some pistons in it. Pretty simple. And I've conveniently already carved out the geode that I found, because, you know, it was actually quite a lot of effort to find the geode. Got to be in the right place, you know, all of this stuff. But, you know, you can enjoy me struggling to place pistons in all the right orientations that I need. Let's do that first. Alright people, let's take a little break from that time lapse and just appreciate how absolutely awful this is. I put a post in the Discord, in the Whimsicraft Discord server, which you should all join, and in that I had a little, you know, little exclusive preview post of what I've been doing, and yeah, the caption was, "I regret everything," and you know, a little bit played up, but still, this is awful. Can you see how many pistons there are here? There is over 200 individual pistons here, and I need to power every single one on one redstone line. This is going to be the most painful wiring I have ever done. As I said last video, this will be spaghetti redstone, and it's going to be pretty awful. I'm not excited for this at all. However, some stuff is quite easy, like I could put a block here. Do you see? I can put a block here, and then if I power this block, it will power these 3 pistons with 1 bit of redstone. So these are the kind of strategies that I'm going to have to use. Otherwise, it will be a lot of redstone, and I need to be super careful to not block areas like this. If I put a block over the top of this, the ally won't be able to get in, and then it just won't work. It'll be completely screwed. So I have to be so careful with this, and yeah, I guess we'll cut to a time lapse of me suffering. This will probably be the most difficult time-lapse I've ever done, because not only is it going to take a really long time, it's also going to be like super mentally taxing. Like the stone, oh yeah, 100,000 stone. That was fine, I was yapping with Trav and Fern and Duckies or whatever in a call. This, I need to concentrate the whole time. It's going to be awful. Anyway, let's go. Oh, I'm terrified. So I've done quite a lot of the wiring. I don't know whether I've done it all. And the way that I'm going to test it is I've got a lovely little lever here, and when I flick it, hopefully, we should get lots of breakage. Now, as you can see, there are no repeaters. I want to use as few repeaters as possible because they're a bit more expensive than redstone dust. So I haven't included them. And then I will go, I can put one here. You know, that kind of thing. And basically all this wiring should theoretically be all connected together, and as I slowly add repeaters, every piston should power. Then, when they inevitably don't, I can come in and kind of fix it up with the remaining redstone that I have, which is not very much. This was way more redstone than I thought it would be, because it's like staircases like this that just use up so much redstone. Also ran through like 6 stacks of slabs or something, but anyway. Okay, we got a lot of buttons falling. Buttons falling means that this has worked, because I put buttons on top of the things so that I could see where stuff was happening. I actually put the buttons to count how many pistons I'd need. So stuff like this appears to be working pretty well. But yeah, it's little changes like that that need to happen. And then I can see that I definitely need a repeater there. And stuff like that. So, you know what, I might as well go through and try and get this working as best of my ability with whilst still on camera, and we'll kind of see how it comes together. I'm picking up a lot of buttons, which I'm very happy about. Now, one thing about this design that I think is rather smart is that everything's connected in multiple ways. So, for example, this is a bad example, but in some places there are areas like this where I've just connected them anyway. This connects up here, but I've also connected it down below, and then it kind of, I don't know, makes it easier to use. So now what I want to do is I want to find out where the staircases are that are running out of power. Stuff like this is definitely going to be running out of power. It looks like there's actually been a misconnection here, and these staircases do not connect in any fashion. Yeah, no, they do not. Okay. That's cool. That makes my life easier, which means we've got a lot of stuff to change before I'm done. By the way, this like redstone line here, that's going to be my beginning power. I think it's the best idea to power it in the open cave where I can put all the other redstone gubbins. You know, I got to have a clock, which I've got to figure out how long it is. You know, I've got to get the LA collecting station. I'll probably over here, you know, something like that. But I think this redstone dust is going to be like my main power source, whatever. It is just easier. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll have a nice little cut here where I try and connect all the redstone together. I'll come back and I'll show you kind of how it's worked and whether there are any like major issues that I'm going to face. The thing that I'm most scared about is if there's a piston head facing one of these and smashes it. That's my biggest fear, because this is an incredibly delicate system. Like, look at this piston pushing into it. Terrifying. Anyway. Alright people, progress has been made. Specifically, I made this thing. I mean, obviously all like the redstone works. Like, that's just kind of a easy given. Like, yeah, done. Put it all in. There are a couple of weird blocks in here just because I ran out of slabs, or more specifically, I put my slabs way back in my house and couldn't be bothered to go back, so I kind of just threw them all in like this. And I've immediately made myself stuck. I'm simply the best at the game. But no, what's important is this little change. Bruh, why is this farm so hard to navigate? Here we go. Over here. So when the LAs are here, they will be attracted to this note block that is actually being activated. It's just not making a noise because I've put some cobblestone above it. And then they'll go up to the note block and just throw it in. It will land in the hoppers. And then I've just got a very simple dropper system to put it in there. I haven't actually put the bubble column in yet, but yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter, it'll work. And then, yeah, this is going to be perfect. I actually discovered a few different issues with this, but nothing too crazy. I didn't have to change any piston orientations or anything, so that was good. And I'm pretty sure every piston is firing perfectly. It'd be very embarrassing if I saw one like that isn't required, but actually, nope, that one's good, it's that. You know, seeing stuff like that is what the crux of the issue is. Gotta see everything and make sure all the repeaters are nice. And not creating any repeater loops, which I was doing quite frequently, which is quite annoying. Now the next thing that I need to do is I need to box this whole thing in. Literally just gonna get like a bunch of cobble. Just box this entire farm in because we can't let the LAs escape. Very simple, just gonna box it all in. And then after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the LAs down, give them amethyst shards, and then AFK for like half an hour and see how the farm's going. I also have the resources on me for the timing, the clock system. For the details of the clock system, I actually used, who was it? It was lmao actually. lmao had made a farm a while ago that, yeah, had the timings in that I needed, so that was good, so I used that. This area here is where I'm going to put the clock. And yeah, I will hopefully attach it to here. I might put the clock outside the farm actually, just so I can attach here correctly. either way, this is not a massive change that's going to happen. I will come back after I've actually like put the allays in and also done some AFKing. I'm not going to pain you with moving allays. There's a whole stream of me moving the allays to this place, and yeah, if you want to see me suffer, you can watch that. I'm not going to do it on this video. So yeah, let's go and do that. I think I had a pretty successful overnight AFK session, or technically I had 2 AFK sessions. As you can see, I haven't built the storage for this farm at all, so yeah, I kind of just stood above the bubble column, and yeah, looks like I've got 1 harvest since I went AFK. And I was also AFK last night at the farm. That was not English, but you know what I mean, the sugar farm. And I think it was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good. Nice. I've also been able to restock my shop, and yeah, got crystals. So that means the farm is now working, which I'm very happy about. Gets about 5 stacks every hour and a half, which is decent. The thing is that it's good because it runs all the time. Like similar to the cactus farm, where the cactus farm isn't really that fast. It's 2 stacks of cactus. And so it's kind of, or is it 1 stack? No, 16 times 4. 1 stack of cactus. But, you know, it adds up. And like, yeah, I eventually have quite a lot of cactus. And I think that's what's going to happen with the crystal farm. I've also made a nice discovery, or well, had a realization, rather, that that crystal farm doesn't produce the normal crystals, which isn't very useful. But what I do have is around here somewhere. I've got this, if I'm not mistaken, or is this the other thing that I've discovered? Let's go down this tunnel and show you. I discovered 2 things. Well, one is that there is another geode nearby which I can use for like the silky to get the actual crystals rather than getting the shards, so that'd be pretty useful. But I actually can't remember what's down this one, whether it's the other. Yes. There's a stronghold, like, right next to my house, and I had no idea it existed. No one's been here. I looted it. I actually took all the books out of it. I thought that would be quite useful to have loads of books. And I'm trying to decide what to do with this, whether I should turn it into a feature or kind of just leave it. One good thing is if I set my spawn at my house, then this is a super fast way of getting home, because I can just jump in this portal and then get back. What this is also good for is I can get to the Enderman farm faster. I can use my season pass that I got from Fusi and be able to repair my tools and stuff super fast. I think that's what I'll probably use it for. I'll light it because, of course, you know, I found it. It's useful. But yeah, somewhere around here there is also another geode that I can use. But yeah, next thing we want to do, storage. We want to build one of these glass tubes. They're not too difficult to build. I need to get some ice, and I need to get some of this. And also, because I helped Honourable with something, I got a frozen coupon for the ice shop, and that means that if I'm running low on this ice, I can definitely grab some extra, which is fantastic. But yeah, let's go back and let's finish off the storage. And of course, we need to make the thing taller, because if I go and look, I don't know where I'm going to store my amethyst. I think it's here. Yeah, I need to stack up the chests and hoppers, which is going to be annoying. Get a bunch of wood, make a bunch of chests, but yeah. Oh yeah, well, it's also a fun thing that's happened. My bamboo storage is completely filled up. I go all the way up. Every single one of these chests, all the way up to the top, is full. And this is why we have the overflow protection, because I knew eventually something was going to fill up, and I didn't want to be the guy that lags the server. So yeah, let's go and build that storage. We'll come back, have a look, and then think about what we want to do next, because I've spent a lot of time building this farm, because it's cool and difficult to make and deserves screen time, but, you know, I'm sure there's some other stuff that we can do too. So yeah, let's get to that. Alright, I have successfully created a tube. Very simple, literally just up to avoid these ones, straight in. And after a tad more AFKing, just because I want to prove that it works, we've got, yeah, 6 stacks of amethyst. It's about 3 stacks per harvest. It's actually just a little bit more than 3 stacks per harvest, and each harvest is 137 minutes. So not the most fantastic rates in the world, but I'm very glad that we have this farm working. And as I AFK here in the future for all of the other things that I get, we should slowly fill up with amethyst, which is great. Now, I did make a realization that I don't need all of this amethyst, and I don't need it yet. So what if I made a shop? And I've only got one shop at the moment, which is the Shulker Shell shop, and the Shulker Shell shop is ridiculously successful. I will admit, it has been one of the most productive shops on the server, because I'm selling them so cheap. So I think I'm going to go for an opposite method with these amethysts. No one really has a lot of amethyst shards or access to amethyst shards, and the other thing that they don't have access to is a little hole in the ground somewhere around here, not where the torches are, but somewhere else. There is another geode, actually. Just off the coast I have another geode, and I can use that to get the normal amethyst, the like crystals that you use Silk Touch on. They will be really sellable too, because they're really good for redstone contraptions, and specifically for like minecart collection systems and stuff like that. They're pretty helpful, so I feel like I could charge quite a lot for them, and they're not actually that hard to get. So yeah, I think what I want to do is, now I've kind of come up with this idea for a shop, I want to hop into the creative world and do a little bit of designing. Oh, also this farm was broken. I need to do some changes on it. Let me quickly show you what I mean by that. So if I flop down here real quick, unfortunately this kelp grew up all the way to the top here and made this block a source block, which means these blocks here are static, and that has ruined the farm. So what I need to do is I just need to make this glass much taller so that the kelp can't ever convert this into a source block, because it'll be above their 15 block limit. So yeah, that's just a little change that I will make. I won't show the results or anything like that, no one cares, but I just thought it'd be fun to mention that this farm technically doesn't work. So if you were ever thinking of stealing this design, you gotta make the walls 15 blocks tall. Okay, let's hop into creative and have a look at what I've designed and make some changes, do a little bit of jumpy building, do a couple of changes, come back, that style of thing. All right, let's go. Welcome people to my Whimsy test build world. I don't know. This is what I've designed so far. I know it looks like a lot, but honestly it just started as a blue box and then it evolved very quickly. This came together in about an hour, which I think is rather impressive. I don't know. It just kind of came together. The colors work nicely. However, there is one issue. Yeah, we haven't got an interior yet, but I'll work on that. Interiors are not my forte at all. That's something that I really struggle with. That's why I generally go for functional interiors. So for example, I might like block out these windows and then just put something boring and bland inside, but this is a shop, it's got to look nice. So that's something I need to work on. But yeah, some of this is going to be a bit expensive to get together. Mainly the pitcher pods. I'm pretty sure I can buy them from the shopping district though. However, I seem to remember they're rather pricey. I am rich, but you know. And then the pillars and frog lamps, I can also buy those, so that's good too. But yeah, let me build an interior and then I'll come back with hopefully something very cool. I like the use of the crystals coming out the walls. I think that looks really interesting. Also, this is going to be a little surprise. This is not what the final thing's going to look like. These might as well disappear. There's going to be something cool here, which I can't do in this world, but I can do it in Whimsicraft. Alright, let's go and do an interior. Alright, we are back, and as you can see, the thing's moved. Incredible. It's an editing trick called copy and pasting it over there to show it without the interior, even though I've already done it. Here's what the interior looks like, and it looks very nice, I think. We've got barrels to sell amethyst blocks. If we go upstairs, we've got barrels to sell the different types of amethyst cluster. I think it's quite a busy interior, but I feel like, you know, magic stuff, magic crystal-y things is going to be a bit like that. We've got some floating candles, plenty of light in here. And overall, I think this is a really, really nice build. I feel like the roof might need some work, but for now I think it's okay. Maybe I'll post a thing on with the Discord. The Whimsicraft guys can roast this build and figure out what needs changing. But yeah, that is kind of everything I wanted to show today. This is going to be next week's project. It's going to be super fun build. I've got lots of stuff to collect. I don't even know if there's a dark prismarine shop, so you know, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, people, if you enjoyed this Whimsicraft video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, all that fantastic stuff. Appreciate everyone's support in the last video. Hopefully this one does as well as that one. Unlikely, but you never know. Alright people, bye guys, bye!